Hi there everyone. So today I'm going to take you through Microsoft Word and some of the basics that you will need in order to complete the Functional Skills Level 2 word processing element. So what you may be faced with is a block of text, as you can see on the screen here. So I have a block of text here which is completely unformatted in a couple of different paragraphs, and there's a few spelling errors which actually are American spellings. So we can use the spell checker in a moment to correct those. So I'm going to take you through some of the basics that you're going to need for the exam. So that's going to involve formatting the text, putting it into columns so it looks more like a newspaper article, inserting a picture into that block of text once it's done, adding a header, adding a footer, and a few other bits of formatting and whatnot, just so you've got that clear of how to do that. Okay, so we're going to make a start. So as you can see, the block of text is here. For the exam, generally speaking, they're going to give you this block of text in a Word format already, completely unformatted like this. So when you open it, you should have something similar to this, probably on topic of whatever the theme is for your particular exam. So first thing we want to do is we want to look at this, and there are a couple of spelling errors, as you can see, that are highlighted with the red squiggles underneath them. These are actually spelling errors because they're American spellings, so this does happen fairly often when text is copied from the internet. So in order to change this, we can do a couple of things. We can either press F7 on our keyboard, which would bring up the spell checker like that, or we can go onto the individual spellings, right click, so right mouse button, and it will give you a choice of what it thinks you might be trying to say. Just checking in terms of which language you're in. If it's a particular word like a noun, so something that you may be using frequently like a person's name, and you can add it to the dictionary. That will save it constantly telling you that it's a spelling error when you're just trying to write somebody's name in instead. Or alternatively, you can go to review, which is up here at the top, and there's the button just on the far left there. It says spelling and grammar, so you can click on that and that will open the spelling menu for you as well. So there's several ways to get to the same thing. So you can press F7, you can right click individually on the word that's being highlighted as a misspelt word, or you can go to review and click on spelling and grammar. All will take you to the same place, or will give you the same amount of marks as well. So I'm just going to change these. So flavors obviously is wants changing because it's Americanized. Molds, flavors. And watch out for that sometimes, because you may select a word that isn't the word you're intending it to be, and then the sentence won't make any sense. Okay. So there's a word actually that isn't misspelt, but is a particular technical word to do with cheese making. So on this occasion, I'm just going to say add this to the dictionary. Alternatively, if you don't want to add it and it's just going to be a one-off, you can click on ignore. So now we've done that, we've got all of our text spell checked, so there shouldn't be anything misspelt in there. So there's some marks gained for you already, nice and simple. Okay, so one of the first things we want to do here is we're going to want to put our text into columns, and before that we're going to want to give your Word document a title. So click at the beginning of the text here, so your cursor, as you can see, is flashing next to the word cheese. I'm going to press enter to bring it down a little bit. I'm going to give it a title, so cheese making for idiots. There we go. Cheese making for idiots. I'm going to go to home, and under the paragraph section you'll see here, this is where we have some of our alignment options. So alignment options such as align left, so that move everything to align it to be on the left, or align right, which obviously does the opposite, align in the centre, or justify. So justify will stretch out the spaces in between the text to make it all finish on the same part of the end of the line, so it looks a little more uniform down the side. So on this occasion we're going to want to put this in the centre. So if you go to this one here, which is centre, well, you can press Control and E, that will put your text into the middle column. Just going to do a little bit of formatting on it. So under font menu here is bold, so we'll take it to bold, and let's just increase the text size. You can do that either from the drop down menu here, or you can do it by clicking on either of these buttons, so that will take you bigger and smaller on your text. So let's just increase that. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, so now we've got a document with a title. And now let's put this into a slightly more visually appealing format. So it may ask you in the exam to lay it out like a magazine, so in 2-column format or possibly more. So what we need to do for that is we need to select everything that we want to be put into columns. So we don't want to select our title because we want that to sit slap bang in the middle and keep there rather than being moved to one column or another. We want to select all of that text there. So on this occasion I'm holding down the mouse button on the left and dragging it down to select everything. Okay, now you want to be going to layout, so layout menu from the top here from the ribbon, and you can see here there's options for margin, orientation, size, columns, etc. So on this occasion we want columns and we want to put it into 2 columns. There we go. So now we've got it in 2 columns. Looks a little bit more like a newspaper or magazine article as they've requested, but it does look a little bit messy on the sides here, I think, because you've got all these ends that don't quite align with one another. So if you wish to, or if it instructs you to, you can select all of that. Again, go back to home, and then you can select of your paragraph alignment options. So personally I would say select justify. And as you can see, that now makes everything much neater, puts everything into line with another, just changes the spacing in between some of the words just to make sure it's nice and clear. Okay, so now we have a title and we have our text formatted and spell checked and in a much more visually appealing format. Let's go and add a picture in. So I'm going to put this in between these 2 paragraphs here. So I've made a little space and pressed enter. If you go to insert at the top and pictures, picture from this device, find the location of your picture. Here we are. So there you go, it's a picture of some cheese that I've put in there because it's an article about cheese. And as you can see, that's now looking a lot more like a newspaper or magazine type article with a picture in there. Okay, so that's in there, that's title done. So we're nearly there. Now, I want to add in a header and a footer, so I'm going to put a header and a footer in with our names in. So to do that, we want to go to insert, and then we want to go to header and footer menu, which is here, just from right from the center. So let's go to header. I'm going to select a blank one so we can put our own custom text into there. So let's put whatever we want in. So on this occasion I'm going to put my name on there. There you go. And if you just click on this part for close header and footer, there you go, that'll close there. Now every new page you create, if you were to create any more new pages, will have that header on, assuming that's what you've got it set on. And then let's put the footer in as a date as well. So back to insert menu, footer, blank, and then as you can see here, so 12th of the 5th 2020. Pop that in, there we go, and now we've got a footer. And again, any new pages you create should have that footer in there. So so that's pretty much everything that you need to know for the word element, for the word processing element. So just to recap, that's how to put a title onto a document, how to align that in the center, how to lay out your text in magazine format, so double column format, how to insert a picture into that, how to align and justify the text, and then how to insert a header and a footer. And that should give you pretty much all the skills that you need in order to complete that particular element of the exam. So thank you very much.